Welcome back, this is Table 53 and today we're looking at Touhou Luna Nights. That pronunciation probably isn't perfect and neither is the game, but it is pretty damn good. Luna Nights is a tough as nails 2D action platformer that left early access in February 2019. Now I'm calling it a 2D action platformer, but the word a lot of people would use to describe this game is Metroidvania, which is the fancy way of saying you'll keep having to double back on yourself to open doors you couldn't open the first time you found them. It's a mechanic that can either be quite tedious, walking back and forth over and over again through the same rooms, or it can make you feel like you're really exploring the game to unlock its secrets. Touhou Luna Nights hits that sweet spot. You want to move from room to room, you want to find out what's in this castle. Towards the start of the game, I found this room with an item floating in it, but I didn't have an ability to crawl or slide, so I couldn't get over there and take it. It was tantalizingly close, and so when I did eventually unlock the ability I needed to get onto the other side of this room, the reward was just that much sweeter. This is one of the things that will keep Luna Nights satisfying to play for its full 5 to 8 hour duration. Constant progress. And none of this Bethesda RPG style grind for an hour to spend a skill point to gain 1% extra damage type of progress. No, real progress that expands your kit and gives you new ways to explore the game. Touhou Luna Nights starts you off very weak with a single generic attack and a situational time slowing ability that can be tricky to pull off mid-combat. But within a few hours of play you pick up a double jump, a secondary attack, a sliding attack to get under low obstacles, and the defining ability of the game, you learn how to stop time. I just wrote a video on the mechanic of real time with pause, which is something that I absolutely love, and a similar mechanic is implemented incredibly well here in Luna Nights. It turns fast-paced, bullet hell-inspired combat and adds a wonderful layer of strategy that makes you feel like a superhero, or Neo from the Matrix. Now, here's a question for you. Is Neo a superhero? Think about it. Every time you pick up a new ability, you start looking for new situations to make the most out of it. And you're going to need these abilities because Luna Nights is a tough game. The game uses specific save locations represented by telephones, which might be a Matrix reference, and so it's not just about being able to beat one enemy or even one room. You've got to be able to traverse whole stretches of castle without dying to make progress. One mistake and you could be sent back 5 rooms and have to try all over again. It can be infuriating. This difficulty is epitomised in the boss battles, which were awful, difficult, I kept dying, tiny mistakes were hugely costly, they were frustrating, they made me angry. And then I would beat them, and I wouldn't change a thing. These battles were some of the best boss battles I've played in an indie game. Repeating the fights, learning how they act, learning when to slow down time, when to pause it, finding the moments to deal damage back, and which ability to do it with was captivating. Yes, it was difficult, yes, it took a long time, but my god, when I finished one of those fights, it felt like an achievement. And that's a joy that only games can really offer. Even the time stop mechanic doesn't always save you, partly because it has a resource meter that can run out, but also because not everything responds to your pause in the same way. Some objects keep moving when you stop time, some objects only move when you stop time, some start moving in reverse. These are introduced incrementally through the game, keeping with that idea of progress that actually changes how you play. These not only add more depth to combat by applying these effects to some projectiles, but are also used to build creative and demanding platforming sections that require reflexes and puzzle solving skills at the same time. I like the variety of enemy types in the game too. Some are fairly generic but well drawn, and others work perfectly within the game's systems. Like these small orb things that are weak but blink away from your attacks and force you to use time stops smartly to actually kill them. But, and here's my only real criticism of the game, I will say that the combat does get worse later on. In order to maintain the difficulty curve, Team Ladybug beefed up the enemies in later sections, but mostly by making tanky individual enemies. This didn't really leave a lot of room for creative fighting. At some point I picked up an ability called 1,000 Daggers that was really powerful. Every time I walked into a room I hit pause, used my 1,000 Daggers attack, unpaused and immediately used it again. This was such a lot of damage to instantly deal that it would kill any enemy before they could attack you. Fortunately though, the end of the game where this was the case also has the lowest emphasis on regular combat. The later stages of the game are where the more interesting platforming sections appear, and also the majority of the boss battles, and both of these are fantastic. The only other issue I have doesn't concern or even affect the gameplay, it's just really stupid and really fixable. The menus. Every time you open the game, you're greeted with this screen that lets you change the resolution and the volume before you start playing. This would be a nice touch, except it's the only place in the entire game where these options exist. Remember, Luna Nights has fixed save points, so if you want to do something as simple as changing the volume, you have to make it all the way to a checkpoint to save, quit the game, and then reopen it. That shouldn't exist in a finished title. Overall, I highly rate this game and I'm glad I bought it, though admittedly I was initially put off by the anime theme. Whether or not you should buy it should mostly be decided by one issue: do you like difficulty? Luna Nights is not impossible, but it is hard. It's going to ask for your time, it wants your concentration, you are going to die a lot. It can be frustrating at times, but it is for the best. If you enjoy games like Enter the Gungeon, Rogue Legacy, Cuphead, Binding of Isaac, then you will enjoy this game, and I definitely recommend Touhou Luna Nights. Thank you for watching. I enjoy writing these videos, and if you enjoyed watching, then consider subscribing to the channel to keep up with all the games I'm going to talk about in the future. If you've got an opinion about Touhou Luna Nights, want to shout at me for mispronouncing its name, or even better, if you've got a conclusive answer to whether or not Neo is a superhero, tell me in the comments because I want to hear it. Thank you for watching, I'm Table53, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.